stories of your grandparents. Life with your grandparents. Yes, Amos's parents and Andy's parents.
I can tell you, well, I think George can tell you a lot more. I just wondered what you people are thinking. How did Amos raise such a big family there without any help from the outside? Yes, he had help from the outside, and that's where my his own father, Unger side of the family, George Unger, was a British farmer, and he naturally had a lot of crops that needed trouble and needed to bail out. He spent so much money. He knew he could go to God and bail him out. He would help him. This is what happened there, and I know the Worker side of the family, we have people by the name of Brayton Worker and Addie Warner, Brayton Warner, who Delphi workers. There's people who have truck matches and farmettes and what have you. They're always bringing in groceries and things. So they had stayed at the market house and what was left over. We were always loaded up with that. So
I'll tell you a short story. Grandpa had an 86 Luger farm. Grandpa, and those I pronounce it when that's the original pronouncement. Doesn't matter. Pronounce it how. But he had an 86-acre farm, and he lived in Hanover. He had already retired. He lived in Hanover. He was a very frugal man. And when my parents married, my grandfather presented them with a double house, free, and they got to live in that double house and raise 11 children. And Grandpa then later, when he retired, he lived on Westminster Avenue in a house there, a very nice house, big house. Grandpa and Grandma lived there, and during the summer, our mother had time after raising those children to work at the canning factory during the summer at Weinberger Canning Factory over in the Poplar Street. She walked over there at one time and worked there, and my grandparents kept my older brother and I out on Westminster Avenue, and we were in their care. Now, how did the grandparents enter? Well, Grandpa gave our parents a double house to start with, but that's not all they did. When they lived there in Pennville, you were allowed to raise hogs and chickens. So they raised 3 hogs every year. What did they do with 3 hogs? They kept one for themselves, smoked their hands and shoulders, and gave 2 to our family. That's just one of the things that Grandpa did. And if my father got in trouble financially, he went to the bank. This is true. And he borrowed money. And my grandpa went on his note. And I say this in all love for my parents, but that's what happened. And when my father couldn't pay the note, my grandfather paid it. That's how our parents, how we were raised, and that's the truth. We were poor and didn't know it.
But you might want to tell them about our dad. When he souped up his Model T Ford truck so he would go up the hills faster than the other Model T Ford. He didn't have the money for that.
No, he didn't. He didn't have the money, but he better done. You know, the first cars came out with Fords, 4-cylinder cars. The ignition systems were different, sort of a battery affair. And they had later cars, or better cars, I should say, like Chevrolet and Dodge and some more names, had the ignition systems that were later. he bought a 1927 Ford truck. And he had, thought he ought to have all the things that later trucks had or cars had. So we had a ignition system put on the truck. And then he had to have oversized cylinders. So they had to drill the block. It took them 3 days to drill the block with its 4 cylinders to make them oversized and have more power. For what, I don't know. I could never understand why he needed more power. Because other people were getting on with 4 cylinders as they were. But then he had to go a little further. He wanted to have a gear that would get him up over the hills without steam. You people don't know it, but there was a time when Model T Fords could go up. Do you know where Newman's Hill is? It's the first hill after you get off Gettysburg and go up into the mountains of Blue Ridge Range. That's Newman's Hill. They couldn't go up over that hill without getting hot and steaming. You had to stop along the road and let your car cool down. Well, here comes this 27 Ford Model T truck my dad had with the Ruxto gear in, which is equal to a second gear on an average car. Well, he could go up that hill there without steaming. Nobody could understand why that was, you know. But he had one of the only trucks like that in the world. That's my father.
I understand that he was a Harley Davidson person.
What's that?
Harley Davidson.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
motorcycle.
it's a motorcycle. But I always wondered how, in those days, they didn't have laws against when the whole family or anybody go to a trip to Washington,
Oh, you were- they
put
wouldn't-
them all in the back of the
They wouldn't stop you from putting a full pile of kids in the back.
all the kids were in the back,
Yeah.
babies up front, and then the front and the back was the
My
back of the
dad
kids.
would go away for a whole day, go down into Virginia, places like that, with a load of kids in the back. We had a canvas that we pull over the back of it if it started to rain. The rain get off the side, you know. Dad got fixed up down there and they had a parade. He got in the parade and we were in the parade keeping up and under the canvas and everybody was clapping and they, that's just part of it. Yeah, we had our good times.